would you do with a laptop that you don't use anymore? Maybe because you've bought a new one or you just don't fancy it. Well, there are 2-3 things that you can do or probably consider doing with your old laptop. You can use it as a rather expensive paperweight, or you can use it to defend yourself from your ballistic girlfriend who's throwing things at you because she's mad at you, or you can use it as a slate on which no chalk works. But here at Tech Toys, we like to believe that gadgets are best used as gadgets, and hence we would like to introduce you to a man called Dushyant Khilnani, who has found a nice and a funky new use for your old laptop. And you call this a laptop transformation?
Absolutely, that's right.
What's that all about?
Well, it all started with trying to sell the laptop, trying not to use it as a shield, and
A rather sticky situation.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And but it did not happen because the vendor, he said it's very old and very heavy. I said fine, but how am I going to use it? As in, I don't need it. I cannot use software.
Exactly why you're going to sell it.
Exactly. I cannot use any software. I cannot use, So he said yes, but it's not going to fetch you anything. I mean, 2 less, and 2 less is not good. I like much.
Okay.
So I said fine. Then let's just grab a drink on a Sunday morning and do something about it.
Okay.
And just open it, rip it apart, and let's see what we can do. So I take the computer, I take the motherboard, put it on an acrylic sheet. I just went to the market, just spent some money and got some acrylic sheet of the same size. I put it on top and just sandwiched it between 2 sheets. Just put the screen on top, and then I said, wow, that's a panel PC.
Whoa,
That's my
brilliant.
panel PC, right there.
How cool is that? But tell me, how many steps are involved in doing this?
You need to first rip it apart. That's the first one. Would be designing the case.
Sounds really adventurous and industrial, Dushyant, and I just can't wait to rip this apart and make a panel PC out of it. But for that, we understand we need some crucial tools. So why don't you go check out those tools? In the meanwhile, we're just warming up here. Okay, now that we've understood the tools that you need to metamorphosize your laptop into a brand new panel PC, why waste a minute?
Let's go.
Tech Toys doesn't just show you the latest gadgets and toys, of course. It also makes you a very self-reliant and independent man. We teach you how to drill holes. We teach you how to cut acrylic sheets. All right, so let's get to drilling, man. After that hardcore drilling action, we are ready with our acrylic base, the chassis for the new panel PC, with the 4 spacers at the 4 corners. What comes next, Dushyant?
We're going to mount the motherboard on this.
Okay.
All right.
And how is that? We obviously can't stick the motherboard to this. So
obviously not. So we're going to have to need spacers.
Okay.
We need spacers. We've already stuck spacers here. If you can see,
Yeah.
the rubber spacers we've used. Right. We're going to mount this just in the dead center of the sheet,
Okay.
so that nothing obstructs them.
Okay.
All right. No contact with the spacers whatsoever. So the next thing we're going to do is mount the screen. Since we cannot just, go inside the
motherboard.
inside the unit and try to switch it on. The switch is here because initially what happens is what happened was the motherboard,
the laptop panel
it had a switch and goes right deep inside with the whole plastic thing pushing the button on the board.
But
we
now
cannot do that
it's
now.
deeply recessed inside the panel.
So what we did here is we soldered 2 wires onto the switch on both the poles, and this is something you will laugh at. Right here, again,
A desktop PC fan.
yes, a desktop PC fan, a CPU fan. We just took it off from the heatsink, snipped the wire, and used this. The reason for using this, the main reason for using this is there you have it.
This.
Is this. We have a switch, a replaceable switch.
We're just going to assemble all that together, the screen mounted panel, the motherboard mounted panel, and Of course, the power cord and the wireless Bluetooth enabled mouse and the keyboard. Just get all of that in place, power it up, and let's just see the home screen. I'm dying to see that.
Let's rock.
Woo! Brilliant! We've done it. Trust me, the feeling of assembling your own panel PC from a totally not so cool laptop is just brilliant. I mean, I had never imagined. And trust me, there was of course a small cloud of doubt till I saw Windows XP getting powered on. No, seriously, come on, I've not done it before, so I don't know. But as you can see, here is your very own state-of-the-art, one of its kind, because you're the only one who has something like this on your desktop, one of its kind panel PC. Now, if we were to compare this to something like the HP TouchSmart PC, I think I like this one. I may be biased in saying that, but no, come on, you've got to pay, what, 80-90 grand for this, and this hardly took
2.5 grand.
2.5 grand?
Yes, around that much.
Wow, that's a lot of saving, and especially in the economic slowdown environment.
Yes.
I think that's quite a responsible move.
Definitely.
But anyway, Dushyant, thank you so much for helping us through this entire process and making us realize that we definitely can use our laptops other than making use of it as a paperweight.